So anyhow, I was saying that continuing here that I've been doing a lot better from fingernails to feet. I'm a lot cleaner, and my life is better. Just being in love, man. It's a big deal, and to think I've gone all this whole time without this feeling, without any tangible hope that I was going to reconcile with my wife, and I've just been accepting these doldrums, this floundering, this aimless existence, living less than half a life, because that's the difference. When a guy has a woman that he loves, 100% devoted to, okay, his life is so much sweeter, so much better. Someone to share his life with that loves him. Oh my God, that's what I really, really want. I just want that so much. I want the cake, okay, and if that's it. And the icing, hey, whatever, okay, but I want the girl, and to have to hold, and that's what you should want too. So guys, I recommend that you at least seek that girl of your dreams. Ponder, what what it's gonna look like, what she's gonna look like, and so that when she appears, because it's gonna happen by surprise out of nowhere, but you're gonna know when you're smitten, and when you've got to say, okay, strap up, I'm going in, and I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my damnedest, and if when win, draw, or lose. How's that saying go? Whatever. You're trying. You're going to give it your level best, and because your life will be so much better. Just being in love, just the game. It's not about the destination even. It's about the journey, and so. But the destination too, right? That's where you want. You want to be whole. And that's really what it comes down to, is that sense of wholeness that a woman can give you. That we had a horrible tornado. Was it in Alabama, right? At one point they reported over 200-mile-an-hour winds, and then they turned it down. But that's a lot of wind. I've been out in the ocean in some pretty strong gales that might border on small hurricane. But actually, the strongest wind I ever experienced in my life was when I lived in Las Vegas, in the desert there. 91-mile-an-hour winds they were reporting, and that's a hell of a strong wind. So when you start hearing these stories of 120, 150-mile-an-hour winds, holy cow, that's mind-blowing power. Invisible, but boy, it's certainly powerful. Who's this Nadler character? Do you see this clown in the news now? This clown now, he is, he's finding one crooked toenail after another. That's it, man. We're Trump. We're focusing on your crooked toenails. Yes, we're going to make one mountain after another out of these molehills here, and that's it, man. So they're trying to swamp him in minutia. But nobody ever heard of this Nadler clown, and all of a sudden now he's in the limelight, like Ken Starr for Clinton, who he gave Clinton a pass for the most part. What a big fat liar! What a stink butt! I mean, I don't like Slick Willie. I'm sorry. I don't know. But if he repents, maybe we could be friends. Who knows? But he needs to repent for one whole hell of a lot. He destroyed the economy of this country. He's a big fat traitor, as far as I'm concerned. Luke Perry with this stroke, I think this had something to do with this colorectal cancer thing. I mean, this can affect you psychologically. And remember, your brain and psychology, it's all related. So, yeah, I mean, this is he could have willed himself dead. He doesn't want to die a slow, painful death of colorectal cancer, because this stuff is tough. I had an aunt that died of that, my dad's sister. And, man, she went through a whole hell of a lot of pain. So Luke probably willed himself dead. 52, he's just a kid by today's standards. A kid. And like I said, I mean, watch your diet, man. But I was listening to a radio talk show where they had the guest was a doctor, and he advised men to never get a prostate check. They're always going to find raised PSA level or whatever they call it. And, then if it affects you psychologically, you psych yourself out. Cancer, oh my God, and you start worrying and fretting and fearing, and then you exacerbate it. This was what he said. This is what a doctor, I'm not saying this. This is what a doctor said. That's why I say when the experts disagree, what are you supposed to do? You've got to get different opinions and do your own research and come up with your own answers and solutions. You could get diagnosed, but as far as what you're going to do to heal yourself, to cure yourself, to get better, okay, because that's the object here, then you do your own research. The doctors told my dad, multiple doctors, so it was plural doctors, told him he'd be dead in 5 years when he was in his 30s from this multiple sclerosis. He lived to be 86. Okay, so you got to figure it out for yourself. He got into nutrition and learned how to calm his nervous system. I guess call it meditation, but prayer. Of course, prayer, man. Got to believe in God. My dad always believed in God. He was never a particularly religious man, but he was a believer. I never heard GD come out of his mouth too much. I'm glad for that. Maybe that's where I got. I was brought up to fear God and say, don't take the Lord's name in vain. I mean, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound good. It sounds unnecessary. It sounds vulgar. It sounds coarse and crude and offensive and insensitive. And, that's why I don't want to, when I use God's name, it's to honor him or ask for help, like a supplication, that sort of thing. But we got to watch the way we bandy these terms about. We got, I tweeted this guy, who is it? Alex Trebek, right? Jeopardy King, the Brainiac guy, Mr. Brainiac. But here's this guy, still relatively young. I mean, by today's standard, was he 78 or something? Now he's got this pancreatic thing. Okay, Google, look, you yourself, foods that cure. Do your own research. But I tweeted him and I said, look, check out Dr. Joel Wallach and see what he says about this. I trust this guy. Too many people are into these low-fat diets, okay? That's bad. You need fats. Okay, you need fats in your system. He talks about, he makes a joke of it, but a cube of butter a day keeps a doctor away. Okay? Natural fats. It's a natural fat. It's not cholesterol inducing. And the healthiest part of eggs turns out to be the yolk. If you're going to have a healthy omelet, have an egg yellow omelet, for God's sake. Seriously, I'm not kidding you. My dad knew these things. I learned these things from him. At a very young age. Lecithin is hard to get. Only soybeans and eggs contain lecithin that I know of. And lecithin breaks down the plaque and the bad cholesterol in your blood. Do your own research. Don't just believe me. Even though I've got a vast store of knowledge on this issue. I've been to health science in college, and I've owned health food stores, and I've read a lot of books, and I've done my own research. That's the greatest knowledge you can get, is by doing your own research. Incredible knowledge out there on these things. But I found oil of oregano to be a very healing thing. You could put it on your skin. You get a little skin and what is that thing? It won't heal up. It itches. It won't go away. Try it. Just repeatedly put a little oil of oregano on it. Don't put it on your genitals. Don't put it in your eyes. It'll burn the hell out of your eyes. You end up in a hospital if you get that stuff in the wrong place. But, you can use it externally, safely, if you do it carefully. But it's powerful. And you can see if you take that stuff internally, it's supposed to help reduce the candida. We naturally have candida in our guts. But we get too much because of our junk food diets, too much sugar and crap. And so you take that stuff, that oil of oregano can be very healing to your organs, your guts, everything. Your guts are very tender, sensitive, absorbent material, right? So that this stuff can be used by your blood like a filtering system. It works a two-way kind of thing, right? Some goes in, some goes out. It's an incredible machine. Like the scriptures say, our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, it puts it very eloquently and poetically. But yeah, we're incredible creatures. Our bodies are incredible machines. But this oil of oregano, I'm a big believer that in the healing potential of that. And there's other very healing foods like cayenne pepper that have this alkaline effect. See, our bodies can get too acidic from junk food and refined foods and stuff. So we need to balance our pH, the potential hydrogen. And so look into it. Lemons are very alkaline. This is why they're very healthy, and the bioflavonoids and all this stuff can't be overstated. Apple cider vinegar, organic apple cider vinegar with the mother. Super healthy stuff. I'm not saying I do these things all the time, but once in a while, I mean, hey, you got to think about your body as a machine. You eat salad. I mean, I just want to have a salad. I mean, that's healthy. You get the selenium from even iceberg lettuce. It's not much in the way of greens, so you're not getting a lot of vitamin K there, but it's got selenium, and that's very necessary in cleansing and sweep your guts and everything else. So, you know, you got to think like your body sometimes. That's what I would tell people. And so when I tweeted Alex Trebek, you know, that was my recommendation, that he listens to Dr. Joel Wallach. But, you know, lightly scrambled eggs and butter as a cure, that doesn't sound like too bad a medicine to me. But these are things he thinks he can pretty much, he can't say he can cure diabetes, but he alludes to this idea that in a couple of weeks, most people can be cured of diabetes. That in his experience, empirically speaking, that he's observed and seen. Okay, from scrambled eggs, whatever the egg albumin, whatever, he knows the science of it, I don't. But I trust certain people. I trust him. He's in his 80s and he looks like he's in his 50s. So yeah, listen to him. Locally, we got another homeless man found dead, drowned in a ditch. Look at this psycho dude. Everybody's heard about this guy that killed his two cutest little girls and his wife. What in the hell? I mean, guys like that, I'm ashamed to be the same gender. What in the hell is wrong with men? What in the hell? How could you do that? How can you do that to your beloved that gave you these two adorable little girls? It's beyond comprehension. I don't get it. I can't get it. God, I mean, what happens to the soul of a man like that? Can that be forgiven? What on earth? Death penalty? That's nothing, man. I mean, guys like this, I mean, you could tear them apart inch by inch and torture them to death that way, alive. But you know what? It's still not going to equal. How do you extract repayment for something that's this horrible? People do these things to each other. How can it be? How can men do this? What is wrong with men? I watch these crime shows. This poor woman that was on Dr. Phil recently. God, she was beautiful. What the hell? She came across this monster and she escaped this guy and she maintained her sweetness. But she had encountered this monster that tried to kill her. What in the hell is wrong with men? God help us. God help us. God, we can be monsters. Jesus Christ, I'm so glad I'm so far removed from these guys. They're freaks, man. God have mercy on their souls. It's horrible. You wonder where these brow furrows come from? I mean, I don't get it. You know, I'm working on them, though. I don't want everybody thinking I'm always walking around uptight, angry, and frustrated, because I'm not. But some of this stuff is genetic. It really can be. So, but I'm trying. I'm using some lotion on it, trying to reduce it. You know, because I mean, how severe is it going to get? It hasn't gotten better over the years. It's just gotten deeper. But I guess it's character, right? So. But men can be vain too, ladies, and but I don't like people thinking, wow, that he's always angry. I'm not. No, I like to be filled with levity and lighten the mood and be jovial and joke around with people and lighthearted. I'm not always, I get into social situations, believe me. That's why I do this video, okay? Because I get everything off my chest too. So I really feel like I'm contributing. It's the most important thing I can do. And the beauty, no money being involved except for what little bit I pay out to do it is beautiful. That's pure. And that's just the way it's got to be.